Hello guys, welcome to another video on the channel. We're going to be looking at the Flash series final and seeing if it holds up a year later. Let's do a recap. To start, we're literally picking up where A New World Part 3 left off, with Eddie succumbing to the power of the Blue Crystal. The Blue Crystal helped him see Godspeed, Zoom, Savitar, and Reverse Flash. And then we basically open to all the speedsters, all the reverse speedsters, if you could call them that, like the negative speedsters, I'd say, like villains. All of them have come, so Godspeed, Zoom, Savitar, and Reverse Flash, they're all here in the negative speed force. They basically argue, and they all think that they can defeat the Flash because they've all been taken from just before they died. They thought they're gonna win, but obviously they die, and they all learn that. Then Eddie tells them all his plan. He shows them the blue crystal, and he transformed into a suited up Cobalt Blue. Then they all agreed to finally kill the Flash for once and all. Just as Barry reappeared in the present, and then he went to go check on Iris because she's having Nora. Barry tells her all about what Eddie's done and how he's alive and how he's the negative Speed Force new avatar. Eddie wanted to basically kill Barry and end his bloodline because Barry basically stole his goal, so it's kind of peak. And he wants to shut down the Speed Force and create a whole new timeline where Eddie is the hero. But in reality, that's obviously the negative Speed Force talking to him and saying, kill the Speed Force, they can only be negative. Cobalt Blue shows up. Barry then runs to Star Labs where his whole team is. Chillblaine, Keone, Excess, Allegra, Cecile. Then Cobalt Blue basically says, fuck this, I need my own team. Then he obviously summons Zoom, Savitar, and Reverse Flash and Godspeed. They all come out of a portal and they all fight. And now, basically, Eric Wallace decides to make the most horrible decision and makes all of the villains go with Team Flash while Barry is trying to kill Cobalt Blue, which is a missed opportunity. Godspeed went after Virtue, Cecile. Reverse Flash went after Allegra. And Savitar decided to just stabbed Excess right in the chest, just like he wanted to do to her mother. But then Excess vibes and stabs him in the back, which was kind of shit because how is she able to stab Savitar when Barry couldn't even do that? And Cecile basically just flew with her powers somehow and killed all the Godspeed clones, and not killed them, but took them out and Godspeed. Allegra goes to Star Labs and finds Chester knocked out, about to die. And Allegra goes final countdown and does her knockout move and knocks out the Reverse Flash easily somehow. And Zoom somehow just got absolutely mutilated by Keone, easily one blast. Allegra is basically begging Chester to come back to life. Chester came back to life and they kissed. It was so cringe. Basically, Chester was resurrected because of his new powers, because he is Chunk, the guy from the comics. Jay from Earth 3 comes and saves the day, kind of. And he said he learned this trick from his Earth 90 doppelganger. Cobalt Blue was down, but not out. Cobalt Blue then gets back up, sucks all the negative speed force from all of his team, Zoom, Godspeed, all of them, and powers up and has speed force. Barry didn't want to kill Cobalt Blue or do anything to him because he's a good guy, he sacrificed himself. Eddie is basically doomed to die now because he's sucked up all that super speed, which is not good for him. He will literally explode, if I'm not wrong. Keone has the power to get Barry into a negative speed force, but once there, he wants to change Eddie's point of view, how he sees what Barry did, and how he sees the negative speed force and how it's helping him when it's actually not. And Barry has to do this to avoid the fracture of the timeline. Barry's in a negative speed force version of the loft. Cobalt Blue kicked his ass. Cobalt Blue beat him and wrecked all his furniture here. Barry took the beating, but he didn't even fight back. He just used his words to convince Eddie that the two of them, as avatar of just two speed forces, can be peaceful and align with each other and end the cycle of killing and create a better world. Eddie agreed to the truce, and now there's basically no negative speed force. It's all positive. I think so. Then basically Nora's born. They celebrate, and future Nora gets to hold her somehow, which doesn't make sense, but whatever. And then Joe sings a lullaby, and Keone like disappears. Caitlyn returns. As Keone's like purpose is gone, as the negative speed force has been neutralized. Joe asks Cecile to marry him, and Cecile is relieved that he asked her. Then the Flash goes on his final run, and then he basically says he's gonna give back. He's gonna give gifts, and he creates new speedsters because he's the Avatar, and he can do that now apparently. Now he's giving the gifts.